PAW Patrol has had a fair few funny animation errors and goofs, and I'll be showing you over 40 of them today. First up, the end scene in Pup Save a Lucky Collar. There, all the pups begin wolfing down Mr. Porter's mini pies. Though as they do that, you can see Zuma and Rocky freeze in place, and Sky seems to stutter a little as well. Next, in Pup's Fall Festival, when Zuma and Sky are picking or kicking pumpkins, we can briefly spot Zuma's visor appear randomly just for a moment. Now, Pup Save a Stowaway. The fluff around the brim of Everest's hat disappears a few times. It happened when she had entered the Paw Patroller just before Marshall's wipeout as Sky hopped out of her seat, and when Chase came to pick her up to ride in his 4x4. Here there's Pup Save the Bubble Monkeys. After receiving their suits, some of the pups are in their normal uniforms as opposed to their jungle uniforms. They appear in their attended attire in the following shot. In Pup Save Jake, when Ryder calls the pups, Zuma doesn't have his eyebrows. Fortunately, they return in the following scene he's in. Similarly, in a shot in Pup Save a Hilo Humdinger, Sky too appears without her eyebrows. Luckily, they also return moments later. After that, Pup Save a Wild Ride. As Ryder and Chase leave the window, you can see part of Marshall's head turns transparent. Now, pups go all monkey. When Ryder summons the pups, we see Rocky's in his uniform. However, when he's running to the elevator, he's no longer wearing it. This remains as he goes up the elevator as well. Then we've got Pup Fu. Just before the pups showcase their skills to Sensei Yumi to earn their yellow belts, we see Rocky wearing a yellow belt despite not actually receiving it yet. Following that, all paws on deck. When Tuck and Ella arrive, both of their vehicles have Ella's badge on them. It stays like that as they're lining up, and quite literally every scene featuring them afterwards, up until after they've destroyed the co-demolisher. Also, earlier in the episode, when Ryder calls the pups, Rocky's in his uniform, but once we see him in the elevator, he's now without it. Then in Pup Save the Baby Ostriches, as he runs to the Paw Patroller, Marshall ends up riding the tan horse who is beside a gray horse. However, in the next shot with him, he's on the gray horse. Now we have Pup Save a Pool Day. Sky's without her uniform for most of the episode, including when she heads to see the pool filling up. Though in the shot right after, where the water has finally come, her full uniform randomly appears on her. She's back to being without it in the following scene. Here in Merpup Save the Turbits, we can spot an unusual blot on Marshall's paw. In addition to that, he also appears to have lost his paw pads. That seems to be common when it comes to the Pups Merpup models, as the same has happened to Sky as well. In Pup Save a Ghost, once the pups followed Ryder into the lookout to investigate, Chase's pup pack disappeared, though it comes back in the next shot. After that, there's Pups in the Fog. Here, the lighthouse's light stops rotating completely as Captain Turbot is tanking the team. Not long after that, once the trio returns to the lookout, Chase and Zuma look quite odd compared to usual, with their muzzles appearing upturned and their faces looking rather squished. Then in Pups vs. the Rough Pack, there's a very brief moment where Marshall has on his EMT pup pack instead of his intended water cannons. In Pup Save a Dragon, when Ryder is visualizing the mission on the big screen, Rocky's avatar appears to be missing a bit of his uniform. Now Pup Save a Parade. Once she's in the elevator, you can see Sky's missing her pup tag. It returns in the following shot, but after that, it appears to be missing most of its design. It comes back moments after, but as they head up the elevator, it seems to have lost many elements again. Then, as they all line up, her badge has gone missing once more. It does stay as it should for the next few shots. However, when she's taken flight, it's lost everything but a dot and looks as if it's clipping to her silhouette. And in the next shot with her, it's absent for yet another time. Luckily, that seemed to be the last of Sky's tag issues. Also, in the first shot mentioned, Zuma's visor shows up for a very brief moment. In Pups and the Troublous Turtles, as the pups dash to the lookout, you can spot Chase's Pupmobile missing the bits covering where the wheels go, and Rebel's Pupmobile has its drill partially out. And if you've enjoyed so far, Rocky would like it if you'd like the video and subscribe. In Pup Save a Tightrope Walker, as Sky and Chase run to the lookout, Chase's head appears to be completely backwards. Thankfully, he returns to normal moments after. Then in Pup Save Jake's Cake, when Ryder's calling Everest, she's in her uniform. However, once she has arrived, she's without it. Her suit does come back in the next shot, but right after, it disappears again. It then returns once she's in frame, but of course, it's absent once more seconds later. In Pup Save Helga and the Humsquatch, after Marshall wipes out Skies without the little tuft of fur on her head. Fortunately, it comes back immediately in the next shot. Now there's Tracker joins the pups. In the shot where Mandy peels out in Tracker's Jeep, we can see that Tracker has lost his uniform's vest, though it returns right after. Here we have Pup Save Friendship Day. When the pups are making cards for everyone at the beginning, they make a broccoli green one for Mr. Porter and put it in an envelope. However, during the first reprise of Best of Friends, we see him receive a blue one in a paper airplane. After that, his pups make a splash. As the episode wraps up and the pups play in the pup park, we see Rebel skateboarding, but the badge on his helmet is missing the paw icon. Then when Pup Save Morning Mountain Yoga is coming to an end, just before Marshall topples over, we can see an odd-looking Rocky. It appears he's missing his eyebrows, his cheek fluff, and the tuft atop his head. In Pups and the Very Big Baby, when Rocky first enters the lookout, he's with just his hat. However, when all the pups back up, he has his pup pack on too. But in the next shot, he now has just his collar. He then stays like that as they go up the elevator. In that same scene, Rebel had some little goofs too. As he backed up, his pup tag looked a bit peculiar, and after Marshall crashed, he gained his uniform's vest and kept it for the following shot. Though his appearance goes back to how it was initially once the elevator rises. Then there's Pup Save the Pet Show. After Rebel uses his shovel to shove some bags aside, we see him put it away. But in the shot right after, it's back out. Now a Junior Patroller's Christmas. When the pups are watching the call from Santa with Ryder, they're in their uniform vests. Then, when they first head outside, they now have their full uniforms on. However, in the next shot where they're visible, all of them are without any of their uniforms and in only their collars. Following that, in Pup Save the Dizzy Dust Express, when Rebel and Rocky are being deployed, the numbers displayed on the PAW Patroller are switched around. Rebel is 6 and Rocky is 5, but they're swapped here. In Pup Save Flying Frog's final scene, the brim of Marshall's hat appears decently extended, though this was intentional, as it actually allowed Smiley to sit atop the pup's head. We see the same thing happen between Marshall and Lil Hootie at the end of Pup Save the Crows. Here we have Pups Fight Fire. Before the episode's mission, Marshall had broken the rungs of his fire truck's ladder. However, during the deployment, we can clearly see those rungs seemingly repaired, even though Rocky didn't do this until after the deployment segment. Also, somewhat connected to this, during the deployment segment of Pup Save Alex, the rungs changed from how they normally looked to how they looked after Rocky had replaced them in Pups Fight Fire. It lasts like this for 2 shots, but returns to its usual appearance once they arrive at the location. After that, in Pup Save a Camping Trip, when Ryder summons the pups, we can see that Zuma has his pup pack on. However, when he comes into the lookout, it's gone. It stays like that for him until all the pups get their gear applied in the elevator. Then in Pup Save a Flying Farmer Yumi, the error actually lies in the title card. There, Skies without her visor, yet the pink bit that rests on her nose is still visible. Now a bit of a bonus with Pup Save the Royal Thrones promo. Near the end of that commercial, Chase's head suddenly juts downwards, visible for just a few frames. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, go check out that video right there, and as always, I'll see you next time.